Now I want to share with you a slightly more serious story. Channel 5 actually aired a documentary in the UK last night, and it was, of course, about the story about Sunninghill Park, which Queen Elizabeth II provided £250,000 to Sarah and Andrew to build their beautiful new home after their marriage. And of course, everyone mocked it and called it South York, but we'll get on to the facts of the case. So it was interesting, apparently, that Queen Elizabeth II became very concerned about how much the budget for this new home was actually blowing out. Andrew Loney actually said this. He recalled the moment that the late Queen became fed up with the over-the-top spending. The late Queen was forced to put her foot down and cut off Andrew and Fergie from overspending on the lavish property long before their first marital home had been built. Andrew and Sarah wanted what they wanted, so they just went ahead, really spending like drunken sailors. Now, after the late Queen Elizabeth II put her foot down, that presented a bit of a problem because Sunninghill Park was actually unfinished. So they had to find another source of income. So what did Fergs do? Good old entrepreneurial Fergs. She approached Hello Magazine and she got an advance for £200,000 from them to do an exclusive showing inside their Sunninghill home. Now, I've actually got a photograph of Sunninghill that I can actually share with you while I share the insights people had about South York at the time. Many were quick to criticise the decor of the house, which included countless teddy bears, cushions with trite slogans, and personalised toilet roll holders, including one that actually sang God Save the Queen. Oh, how cute. Isn't that so whimsical and lovely? So that was a story that aired in the Channel 5 documentary. But something makes me absolutely furious, and this is the serious part of the story. It's about Timur Kulibayev, who was a great friend of Prince Andrew's. Now, after Andrew and Fergie actually separated and even after their divorce, South York was up for sale for £12 million. Now, it sat for about 5 years, which is astonishing in itself because it just probably proves the unpopularity of the couple at the time and how their taste was regarded, as rather tacky, and no one was really interested in the property. Many felt that it was overpriced and it just didn't generate much interest, which was surprising to Andrew and Fergie because they thought him being the second son of the Queen, a prince of the realm, that they would be knocked over with buyers actually rushing up to view and purchase the property. But it sat for 5 very long years until a great friend of Prince Andrew's, Timur Kulibayev, I believe he was a great friend. He must have been something because he was willing to overpay for the property by £3 million. Yes, he paid £15 million for the property. So 3 mil over the asking price of a property that had sat there with no one interested in it for over 5 years. Now, Timur was the son-in-law of a former Kazakh president. I believe his nickname was like the Oil Prince. So it's very interesting, isn't it? And don't you find it absolutely gobsmacking that the UK government at the time didn't look very seriously into this transaction? Don't you think it's gobsmacking that it didn't receive more attention? It got a few newspaper headlines, but surely there should have been a proper investigation. At the time, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, prior to the divorce, were funded by the UK taxpayer. Very much so. And the reason why I'm irate about this is I believe the monarchy is threatened by its shadows. It's only as strong as its shadows, as I've said in a previous video. And so all the bad apples and all the sort of questionable transactions need to be examined. Everything needs to be cleared up. There needs to be full transparency. Now, of course, I hold out high hopes for Andrew Loney's book, and I will have the exclusive first interview with him about that book when the book's published on August the 14th. He's coming to our show first. So I hope you'll all support me in that interview and come and watch it when it happens. I'll be heralding it, don't worry. There's no chance you won't know that it's about to happen. But seriously, though, for forget Epstein. I mean, just forget it. Nothing is ever going to happen, obviously, on that score. But shouldn't we be looking very seriously at these rather, in my opinion, questionable financial transactions? Maybe it was looked into and they found no case to answer, but it just doesn't look good. Even from the case of optics, it doesn't look good, does it? It doesn't look above board and transparent. And it makes me furious because can you imagine the full weight of the law coming down on any of us if we, had a home sitting on the market for 5 years that no one was interested in, and then all of a sudden a foreign entity purchased it for, 3 mil above the asking price? Don't you think that our country's authorities would be tapping on our doors, looking over our shoulder, doing tax audits, things like that? And so it certainly does seem to be one rule for the rich and powerful and another rule for the rest of us.